Hey guys, what's up? So this week is going to be a little bit different than the past week. Let's see if I can find some light here. Anyways, this week is going to be a little bit different than last week. Definitely more informal because I've had a super busy week. Holy crap. Like 3 webinars, putting together another webinar presentation for the offer that's coming in January, which by the way is another announcement for those of you who are Elite Marketing Pros or who were affiliates who saw the last webinar that Andrew and I put on. Our update was that we were going to launch in the first 2 weeks, or the 2 weeks into December. We're not going to now. It just doesn't make any sense to do so close to Christmas. So we're going to be launching in the beginning of January, which is really cool. It just makes a lot more sense, and I think it's going to be better for you guys anyways. So anyways, today there's not going to be a PDF. Usually I know there's a PDF, and you get a download. It's really cool, and I go through it for like 17 minutes. Not today. What I am going to do, though, is put down below a short template. Many of you probably are going to see this as very basic, but those of you who don't have a follow-up sequence, you're killing yourself right now. And so on that topic, follow-up is probably the most important thing you can do and the most underrated thing and under-talked about thing in internet marketing. It's crazy because in any other industry in marketing, that is like the thing. So take, for example, I told this story very quickly in one of my other videos. If you didn't catch it, then that's okay because I'm going to tell it now. So about 2 months ago now, I was at a dealership up the road, and I was looking at new cars to lease because my lease is coming up in January, and I wanted to check out new cars. I was not going to buy or lease a new car while I was there, but I came close because of how good they were at selling. It was like, well, what if I told you you could walk out of here without paying any money down right now? It's like, holy crap, you guys are like crazy salesmen. So I, being a salesman and or being a marketer and knowing their tactics or whatever, I kind of got out of there. But after getting out of there, the follow-up that I received was incredible. And your follow-up needs to be this incredible. And the start of that is the first message. And that's why I want to give you that first message. That way you can hopefully build some momentum from creating that first follow-up message for your autoresponder. If you don't have an autoresponder, you got to go get one. Like, that's the number one thing. That's the first thing you should purchase as an online marketer. So the follow-up afterwards was insane. I gave them my phone number, obviously, because that's what you got to do for a lease so they can check all your information and whatnot. So I got not a phone call. Well, okay, so the first thing I got was a phone call from Shane, and I know his first name because I see his name pop up on my phone all the time. So I got a phone call from Shane, who was helping me out with the car, who's the sales rep there, who's definitely going to get the commission. And he was, telling me about deals. He didn't call to say, hey, you want to come back in and get that car. He called and was giving me more information about certain deals that were going on. He was also saying, he figured some other stuff out. So it was not a sales pitch. It was literally just an informational, like, hey, like, there's some really cool deals going on. So he immediately put himself into the friend zone, but in the good way, right? So he put himself into a really informal friend zone because the next day he texted me. So of all things to do, like, no one really thinks that you're going to get texted by a dealership sales rep. He texts me, and it's not like, hey, come in, blah, 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 advertisement. It's like, hey, Ro, what's going on? Just wondering if you wanted to come in the next week or whatever. Those deals are still available, blah, blah, blah. That was it. So over the past 2 months, I've been getting text messages. I got like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 phone calls, and not from Shane, but from the sales ladies or girls upstairs or whatever. They call you and want to schedule a follow-up or something like that. Of course, I ignored them all because, I'm not ready for it yet. But just to see their follow-up, and the point is I didn't purchase or anything. I didn't pick up any of those calls. But the fact that they continuously followed up, they've been in my mind for the past 2 months. So who do you think I'm going to go to purchase or lease my next car? And, as fate would have it or whatever, my lease is up in January. But because of all this intense, excellent follow-up, I'm getting my car next week, right? So it's like I already have it planned. I already have the insurance figured out and stuff. So it's like they put me in the position of wanting to move ahead and turn in my lease early and all this stuff and get a new car. So their follow-up was incredible. Yours needs to be just as incredible. You need to be in front of new prospects every single day. Now, I've had this conversation with many different people, and the question is, how many times should I be emailing my list per day? And I've given you many different contexts, right? I've said email every single day, and then I've said email once a week. So what do? Well, here's the idea. When somebody is new to you, you email them with a 5 to 7, even maybe a 9 follow-up sequence every single day. Day after day after day, they get a follow-up sequence of you giving them intense, really great value. Now, after that, what I'd recommend is dropping it down to 2 to 3 emails per week. For me, I do 1 email per week. Now, here's the psychology behind this. And I know there's going to be plenty of people who disagree with me. I don't care. This is basic psychology. Like if you're not paying attention to this, I don't know. It doesn't make sense what other people are doing. If you're mailing every single day, it's going to become too habitual. So the beginning, yes, you want to create a habit of them opening your emails. You want them to really enjoy your content. You want to over-deliver in those 7 days. You want to build that strong relationship. But after you build a strong, so take a friendship, for example. After, you guys are hanging out a ton and, 7 days in a row, blah, 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 13 days in a row, 21 days in a row, you're kind of getting tired. Like, holy crap, I don't want to hang out today. You know what I mean? So it's the idea of, yes, you want immediate every single day, like I'm here, you're going to be my friend. I'm building rapport with you. After that, you want to start creating scarcity within your information. You want to create exclusivity, right? So if I only mail, so many of you, the list for Magnetic Sponsoring is coming in daily. New leads every single day, new leads out. That's how it happens. Those of you who have stayed around have seen me come and go in, small bursts. So there was 1 month that I posted like every single day. And then, I was gone for a month before too. But the exclusivity is created after those 7 days when you're mailing maybe 2 or 3 times, or like I'm doing is once a week. So here's the idea. If you're mailing only 2 to 3 times a week or once a week after you've built that relationship with them, and they're receiving tons of emails from many other people every single day, they're getting those emails, they're probably going to read a couple of the good subject headlines and just kind of delete the rest. That's what I do. If there's a good subject headline, you'll catch my attention. But we're not always going to have the most perfect subject headline. So here's a little loophole around having to have the best subject line every single time. So, and the cool thing is you can actually have the best because it'll give you more time if you're doing it only once a week. Anyways, if you email only once a week, now your name pops up in their inbox only once a week. So when it does, and when you have something, and this is what Andrew and I talked about yesterday, when you have something really, really great to say because you've had that whole week to prepare an excellent email or an excellent blog post, they open it because it's exclusive. They only see an email from you once a week, so they better open it because if they miss this week, then they're going to be behind an entire week versus an entire day. So you see how that kind of works. So yes, in the beginning, you want massive amounts of content and value, particularly value, not just random bouts of content. And then after that, you want to create exclusivity with your emails, going down to 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't even go up to 4. Now, if there's a hangout or a webinar that you want to promote, yeah, definitely go for it. Send a broadcast out and go ahead, promote it. But here's something, and I haven't tested this, so this is kind of a test in progress. I like giving you things that are tested. This is actually the principle that I'm talking about with the once a week thing is tested. My open rates and my click-through rates have skyrocketed with my personal list. So I have a personal list, and then I talk to you guys obviously here on the Magnetic blog. My personal list skyrocketed. My engagement skyrocketed. People are commenting on my stuff more often. People are liking my stuff more often. It's because I only show up once a week. It's because I come with my best freaking stuff. And when I do, it allows them to perceive me as somebody who contributes value and doesn't waste their time, right? So, anyways, with follow-up, you want to create a segment of at least 5 emails, all right? So below, I'm going to give you an email to kind of start you off with your follow-up. The first follow-up is actually the easiest, but the hardest to get started for most, because many people just, we don't understand, like, what are we supposed to say in the first follow-up? What if I screw up? You're not going to screw up. You simply create a follow-up email that is, well, I'm not even going to tell you. It's down below. I don't want to waste your time here. So that is the idea here. You want to be following up, and then you want to create that exclusivity with your list. It's going to be very, very powerful. You're going to be positioned as a leader, because leaders are typically more, they're kind of busy. Now, unless you're some kind of, superhuman like Ray Higdon, typically producing content every single day is not the easiest thing in the world to do anyways. So that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and shoot me a comment down below, or go ahead and even click one of the like buttons to let me know, and I will see you next week.